Life is very interesting. It's an interesting phenomenon when you really think about it. We all experience life, but what is it? Is it through perception? Is it through being? Is it through understanding? Is it through how things function? Life is one of those things where you don't really know why it happens or why you experience it, but it just is. It is always constant. The universe, at least the galaxy, mainly does not consist of life, but yet on this planet, there's life. Now, why is that? What makes us so special? What makes us so unique? Why and how are we different? We're gonna talk about it. We getting philosophical today. Let's get into it. But life. Why am I talking about life? Why is life so interesting? Honestly, it's a lot of things. I don't know if y'all can see. I got my notebook here. I told myself I would be doing this to stay on track, because one thing I have noticed with my past videos, I can start yapping and I can really get off track, and I feel like I don't keep the purpose of the video. So this is what that book is for. All right, I'm gonna move it actually. I don't need to see my notes. As a sophomore in college or being 20 years old, my perception on life has genuinely changed. I used to think life was this experience I had to rush, where I had to hurry up and grow up, because that would fulfill me. I would feel more satisfied. I would have more freedom. And yeah, in a sense I did, but honestly, I wouldn't say that. Aging has taught me that life isn't just precious, that it's rare, but it's unique. Every single person on earth, matter of fact, almost every single thing on earth experiences life. But yet, life is so unique, it's so personalized, it's so different. Like, for example, you watching a video, you're a human being, or maybe an alien, or whatever. But I got a plant here. The way me and the plant experience life is different. We are both living things, but the way I perceive it and the way I essentially live is different from how the plant lives. I have consciousness, I have awareness, but a plant, we don't know that. They just be chilling. Same thing with grass, trees, anything. Even animals, but they're a little bit different. But I'm not gonna go down that path. Y'all get the point. And I feel like life has been teaching me that life isn't fair. And no one's coming to save you, essentially, in that you have to go down your path, even though we are already on our path. But it's time to start taking those steps. One thing that's really been on my mind lately is just of the fact of separation, I'll call it. As I've aged, as I've gotten older, life has taught me many things, but in my teachings, it's isolated me. As you may or may not know, I'm a very spiritual guy, and I had a spiritual awakening about, I'd say, a year ago now. And I can't really explain what it is, because it's really its own category, but I can say this. When you spiritually awaken, it's not like where I become a god and I start levitating, none of that. It's this perception that you gain of the world, and you see things not just surface level, but deeply. You see the deep insights, you see the mechanisms behind life. And that's why life is so interesting, because life has so many mechanisms at play that people don't even realize. It's honestly insane. And the biggest mechanism I feel like I've really been zoning in on is person to person interaction and behavior. My whole life, pretty much, I wouldn't say I was a people pleaser, but I was the class comedian. I really wanted to make sure that people felt good around me. Now why? I don't know. It could be childhood, it could be whatever. But that's who I was. But as I got older, that changed drastically, because I feel I started seeing the true mechanisms in life behind people to people interactions or just people in general. I've seen how diverse this world can be, and that is something that college definitely teaches. You meet all these people who are so different from you, and you couldn't even fathom it. You know what I do? I'm a stay at home dude. Really, I go out and party a couple times. You know, I really try to like enjoy myself, but I feel best when I'm by myself. But because I'm by myself, I have this observation or awareness of where I can look at things from an outside perspective. If you like read the book Frankenstein, you know what I'm talking about. That book is goated. But I've learned that people are so different, and that's okay. But when people are different, you have to learn to accept that. You do. I feel like we always create this version of somebody in our heads, but we don't really know who they are until they reveal who they are. I've had people in my life who I thought were, let's say, beneficial. People who I thought were meant to be in my lives for maybe a long time or whatever the case may be, but that did not happen. As time went on, I started realizing that this person isn't who I thought they were. And like I said earlier, I was pretty much of a people's pleaser. So because of that, I didn't really see how people treated me. I was so focused on how I treated others, I couldn't see how I was treated by people. And that's the biggest thing, I feel like. Because I realized it's not that everybody is fake, just nobody not worried about you, my boy. Like, everybody is worried about themselves, which I think is good. And I'm not saying that people can't care for each other, because they definitely can, but I have noticed a sense of selfishness within people that I didn't originally experience. I couldn't take people's thoughts, their actions, their accountabilities into play of how it made me feel. And now that I've learned that, I'll never be the same. And now y'all probably running into, why are you saying this? Like, why does this matter? This matters because my experience is so different from y'all's. And what I want to do is not help people, but connect people. I want to connect a community of people who think like me. Most people who watch my videos will not be like me. I'm a very spiritual guy. I have a lot of specific terms and conditions and perceptions, beliefs, all this that don't apply to most people. But I've realized that that's the uniqueness in life, in personhood, of being a human. It's honestly kind of fascinating, really. And I really don't even talk like this. Honestly, I'm talking very good. This video, my old videos, I be stuttering a lot, but I feel like what I'm saying is something that I truly believe in. So I'll keep talking about that. Something else I want to touch up on. I don't know how much y'all are aware of anime or just whatever, but I've started watching this anime, and genuinely it's pretty good. It's called Full Metal Alchemist, and genuinely there's this phenomenon called alchemy. I'm pretty sure it's a study where everything that is created or manipulated, that happens through equivalent or equal change. So for example, right, if I wanted to turn this into something, I had to input something that had equal or similar value. And I feel like that really applies to life, actually. I feel like, you ever heard the quote where like life has its ups and downs, where life is always in balance? Like, that's one thing about life I've noticed. Life has balance. Life is always balanced, no matter how hard you try to believe it or not. Life is a phenomenon of balance, I feel. Like yin-yang type shit, you know what I'm saying? And I say this because I've had a lot of bad days, and I think we all have. We all have these days that are so bad where we think life can't be better, where we think this will be the lowest moment of our lives, and we will always stay there. And that's kind of how emotions work when you really think about it. Like depression and all these negative thoughts, they can really cloud your judgment and make you believe that it will last forever, but nothing lasts forever. And everything works in balance. It's literally like science. You know, atoms got protons, neutrons, electrons. The electrons are negative, then the protons or the core is positive. Everything has a balance, and I'm talking about balance because I believe balance is the most important thing to master. Master your storms, but also learn to really appreciate your sunny days. I would say this year I've probably had a lot of rainy days, a lot of days where I've been not just in my head, where I've wow, where I've genuinely just been in a like low state of mind, just very low energy, like low vibration. And I don't know how it is for you guys, but I want to say something. Let me balance y'all energy. But just know that however you feel in the moment, good or bad, is temporary. Just notice that as long as you keep always trying to push ahead, you will ultimately become who you will. And that balance, it will always happen, but when you can learn to balance your highs and lows, you can learn to live life. I truly believe so. And to anybody who's going through one of the roughest moments in their life, or they just need some like motivation, some support, listen to me. Let me tell you something. Everybody who's great, they're not there for no reason. Yes, they are chosen, but they were put through unimaginable tests that ultimately led to where they are. About balance. The people who want to be the greatest in society have to go through the roughest challenges and barriers. And not everybody wants to be great, and I understand, but I think everybody should try to strive to be great. Because trying to be the greatest you can push you, and it will allow you to be your best self. And if you're going through a rough time, just know that this is temporary. You're being tested by the universe. Life is testing you. Life is seeing how much you can endure, how much pressure you can withstand. I got this quote, pressure creates diamonds. And genuinely, I believe in that so much because those people who go through the pain, who go through the pressure, who withstand it all, ultimately become the best people. I genuinely believe so. So if you're struggling, I want you to know that it's going to be okay. And I'm just some random dude on the internet saying this, but I don't care. Because this is going to impact somebody, even if it's just one viewer. That's what it's all about, impact. And I feel like that's what life is about, impact. What can we impact? Like, how can our lives impact society, the world, the galaxy, the universe, existence? What impact do we have? And I feel like that is really an extension of why life is so unique, adding on to what I said earlier. Life is something that we don't know why it exists. Life just exists. And this is your first time living. And the one thing that we experience the most is the one thing we know the littlest about, essentially, life. So embrace life. Accept the balance, accept your ups, accept your downs, and learn to really just be at an equilibrium state of being satisfied. And that's why life is so precious. That's why life is so unique, but why life is so weird. It's funny because, this is our first time living, and we never expected to be alive. That's the one thing about being a human, or just like existing, which is probably the most mind-boggling. We didn't decide to be alive, or at least we don't know we did. We just are. And why we are alive, we have no clue. But because of this phenomenon of living, we gotta try to live, or just be. Whatever you decide, just do it. And I don't think I've ever made a video like this, actually. Well, honestly, most of my videos are like that. Let me stop lying. But I feel like I've never made a video where I was so passionate about what I was talking about. Because I feel like this is the one thing that's always on my life. Always on my mind. Life. And that's one thing about being spiritual. But I will leave it at that. Y'all heard me, spiritual. I hope y'all enjoyed this quick little video. It's not that much. It's just something to just release the tension in the air, to kind of just get me back on track. I've always been gone. I never really stayed consistent with my uploads, and honestly, it doesn't matter with such a low fan base, but it doesn't matter about that. It doesn't matter about any of that. I gotta learn to balance myself. Even when I don't feel like recording, to just record. Even when I'm going through my toughest battles, to just do what I need to do, to withstand it. And I believe y'all should too. Just know that what you're going through, what you're experiencing, life, it's all up to you. And it's all about you. It's not about me. It's not about your parents, your brothers, your friends. You can experience life with them, but life is about you. It's about your experience. So what are you gonna do about that? I want y'all to think on that. If people even comment it below. I'm dead serious. I need some comments. I really want to see what people think. And I really want to see what's this mindset in life. Because as a generation, I feel we are so disconnected. We don't talk enough. So we're gonna start talking about it. That's all I have for this video. Pretty short, pretty sweet. The next video will be about spirituality. I'm gonna dive deep into that. So be prepared, be ready. But yeah, that's all I got to say. I hope your day is going good. Until next time, peace.